Welcome, Didar. My name is Fatih, and this is Before It Made Sense. So, what I do is I bring people from different backgrounds, just like you, to be able to help me and the younger generation so they can pinpoint the right steps and strategies to attain financial success and more. So,
Hello, Fatih.
yeah.
Yeah, great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I'd like to know a little bit about you before we jump into, you know, the details. So how many years has it been since you've actually moved to the States, especially as an immigrant from Kazakhstan?
So we moved in the end of 2022. So this is our fourth year here. It's been like more than 3 years.
Okay. Well, I know the adjustment process is a bit different. So, because there's like community, society, everything is just completely different. Explain how that process was like for you, like the transition.
It wasn't easy in the beginning because first year was a little bit hard because we moved here. We had to find apartment. Kids have to go to school, so they didn't know English, so they need to learn English, and we've been like a little bit worried how they will adapt. In terms of work, also new culture, like business culture, like everything on paper. So, and we had to adjust a lot of like legal stuff new for us, like jurisdictions, how the contracts are drafted, how the business is conducted. So we had to learn a lot. But then after like 1 year, it's been much easier because we already understood how business is done here, how the society works, what is the local culture, and the language as well. So we've been practicing speaking to people, so it's been
So
easier.
it was just like a massive jump, and like you had to like kind of say your priorities straight in order to adjust quickly.
Right, because in Kazakhstan it's more like formal agreements. If you shake hands with someone, that means almost like 90%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done. If it's not on the paper, like
Yes,
nobody
no, I get what
obligated.
you mean for
Yeah,
sure. I kind of want to just go back to your education in Kazakhstan, right? Let's just
yeah.
so when you were a student in college, right? What major did you pursue, and was it like much use to your projects that you do nowadays?
So basically, I've been studying in uni. I've been studying finance and financial management later in my master degree. So then I worked like 1 month in KPMG in management consulting, and then I understood that it's not something that I want to do. So I quit it and I started my first business. In business, of course, finance is like major part. You have to
No,
like
for sure, yeah.
calculate your
A
expenses
lot
and
of
like project your revenues. So you have to do a lot of finance there. So it helped me a lot to have this strategic approach to every business that I do, not to get involved to businesses where there is like little chance to make money, but like choose something that can generate. Yeah,
so it was definitely worth it. Like the education that you received definitely helped you to be able to manage your finances in your businesses that you have nowadays.
yeah. I think also like it helped me to be more disciplined because we had this attendance list. If you miss like 3 or 4 classes, then you got
Oh,
like suspended. So
that's so different.
yeah, you have to attend, then you have to prepare for your classes, you have to study, you have to do the homework and everything, you have to collaborate in groups. So a lot of things that are not maybe obvious, but I think they help me to do business later because it's like very similar. You have to be disciplined, you have to know how to work in groups, you have to know how to deal with people. So yeah, it's been a good practice.
Okay, so this is a very important question that my own friends ask me and we just like talk about on a regular basis. So I know that since you took a financial degree, it actually helped you massively
Yeah.
in to be able to manage money and different aspects in your businesses nowadays. But as a whole, do you think like college specifically has any use in actually obtaining financial freedom? Like, does it teach you things outside of just being book smart, street smart?
Hmm. Not exactly, I think so. I know some guys who maybe weren't good in like college or uni. They didn't have like high degrees. They didn't succeed in like studying, but they succeeded in business. So there is some other, I think, maybe qualities or some other things that also um, important when you do business. And it's not something that they teach in universities, but as I said, like some skills or some knowledge, it's beneficial. But I cannot say if you don't have a degree, then you cannot do business. So
Well, I kind of wonder this myself, like a lot of the times. So I know there's a lot of business people out there that have these massive companies, and right, they need these employees, right?
right.
In your opinion, would you rather hire like an Ivy League student that went to Harvard, had a financial degree, and just has book smarts? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that he's kind of self isolated. Yeah, he has smarts. Or would you rather hire a regular student that took the finance degree, graduated, has his bachelor's, but has more of street smarts? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think it depends on the um, tasks and depends on the role that I need. So, for example, if I want to hire someone, I think for the legal work, I better go with a student with Ivy
Oh, for
League.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
because like legal stuff requires a lot of learning, a lot of things that you have to do like before you go to the work. But for the sales, for example, I think I would hire like the guy just with good social skills. So I don't pay much attention on the degree as long as he can get along with people well, as long as he's like really nice person and you enjoy talking to him, I think he can sell. So it depends on the role, I think.
so for the people that want to go down through the entrepreneurial route like you did,
Mm-hmm.
what would be a waste of time in college? So what should they try to avoid to do if they want to become prosperous?
Oh, it's a really hard question. I don't know exactly what they shouldn't do, but maybe I can say what they should do. Because
Okay.
I would say to myself, if I go back in time and
Yeah.
say
Just
to
tell
myself,
yourself, tell Mr. Didar something 15 years ago, what you would do better to
yeah,
change.
don't stress much about the grades that you take. Like if you're not really taking like highest grades, it's not that important. Try to follow your interest. If some subject or something interests you, try to spend more time on it, enjoy it, and also try to work more in groups. Then you learn how later you will do business and you will interact with other people. You will learn a lot of things. Try to do maybe debate, like this.
For the speaking
Yeah,
skills, yeah.
speaking skills. Try to do some um, like extra activities apart from just going and like reading and doing all the regular stuff. Try to find something that you really like. If it's sports, do more sports. If it's something like related to intellectual activities like chess, debates, and other, try to do this. And in subjects, try to choose and learn whatever you feel interested in, really interested. Oh,
Okay.
and one more thing, like try to find like-minded people and be friends with them.
Just like you, so, because, no, I feel like that's very important. Like right now, I also have people that are like me, we have the same kind of mindset, right?
Yeah,
For me, working with them is pretty easy because we think the same. And I think I totally agree with you on that, on the debate part, because that just teaches you the speaking skills, because that's a very important part of being successful, in my opinion. But outside of just having a college degree, what skills do you think are really crucial, like in order to be able to attain financial success?
I think stress management. So a lot of pressure comes from outside, and usually like if we do something and we don't see results immediately, we sometimes stressed out, or we sometimes do some things and we don't get what we expected. But it only just gets time. So whatever is outcome, I think stress management is important. You should have some techniques or some things that can help you when things are going wrong or things are like slow.
I'm guessing that's the reason why entrepreneurship is not meant for everyone because they might not be able to handle all the stress and they become overwhelmed from it, which leads them to actually quitting. I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know if that's the same for you, but do you think that entrepreneurship is meant for everyone?
Um, I think everyone can try, and at least they learn more about themselves. So if they feel that they don't wanna do this stuff and feel all this pressure, all this stress, then they just quit, and then they know at least that they shouldn't like do this. If they enjoy it, some people like really enjoy it, especially like I think young people, they can like push more and see how far they can go.
Is it the adrenaline that they have due to their like being young?
Yeah, I think when you're young, you're like more positive and you have like less bad experiences, less,
Mm,
and then you're not afraid because as long like as you get older, you sometimes you get like positive outcomes, sometimes negative outcomes, but negative outcomes hurt more than positive bring joy. So basically, that's why we can remember some bad things, and they still feel like very bad for us. So that's why like when you're young, basically your life is just getting started, and so that's why you can like try more and you
and
have
take more
this,
risks.
yeah, take more
So
risk.
I'd like to put you in a situation with a kid, right? Say he is overly stressed, he thinks too much about certain things, he doubts himself a lot. But the thing with him is that he's really gifted, not with this, but with the skills of being able to, cooperate, work with other people that he is not, of course, doesn't have the skills that they have, right? But he's able to easily work with them, and he has a great education. So, what would you say to that kid that actually struggles with that stress?
Maybe find someone at the partner to start a business, not go alone and feel all this stress by himself. But it's always easier to have someone like who can share responsibilities, who can share all this pressure with you, and so it will be easier. And someone who understands you totally, so you face the same problems in business. If you have a partner, you can share, like you can talk about it, and then you get like relieved because you talked about it.
So, this is a question I actually wonder about because, say you have a business with your friend, right? Your partner,
Yeah,
and you make bundles of amount of money. Say you make like 10 million, right, in revenue, right?
right.
But then there's profits, right? How would you split the money with your friend? How would you do it?
If you like, I think it should be agreed before you make 10 million. Like if you agreed like 50-50, you just split it 50-50.
50-50?
Yeah.
Well, they're just like, imagine they're just reckless, and have an argument. Like, what would you do then? Like,
Yeah, it's like unique. Every partnership is unique and it depends on the partners, how they handle this, how they agreed upon. So I think in every situation, we can resolve it like, but it's like with compromise. You have to be ready like to compromise some things, and even if you really want some things, you in partnership you have to be ready to give up and just give it to partner. But
yeah.
basically, if you upon before the starting business you agreed like we do 50-50, then you try to stick to it.
Okay. Well, I know that you did Bitcoin mining in your past, right? And
Right.
you've, of course, changed that to your AI business that we'll further talk about. But I did a little research on it actually and found that Bitcoin was launched in 2009 and actually started trading on exchanges in 2010. But I only know a little bit about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I would like to know at what time was it that you were able to get into Bitcoin and the prices that it used to be at?
It was 2017. The price when I first saw it was like I think 4,000, but it in like it was the bull market at that time. So every month it was just going higher and higher. So it was 4, then it was like 7, then it was like 11, and it peaked at 20,000. Then it crushed. So
Yeah.
2018 it crushed. So and in 2018 we started doing business like in Bitcoin mining.
So you were able to get it at the cheaper prices, right?
No. So first experience was bad. So we were buying Bitcoin, I think, when it was like 15 or 16,000, then it crushed. And then we were buying mining machines also when they were very expensive, and then the price went down. So yeah, first was like, first experience in Bitcoin mining was a little bit unlucky, I'd say, but we didn't quit. So then we figured out how to do it like more efficiently, and then prices went down, and we were able like to work with better machine pricings.
So I know that like Bitcoin mining takes a lot of investments. You know, you have to commit and
Yeah.
have a lot of capital to be able to Bitcoin mine, right? So my question that I wonder a lot about since I've been researching about this topic was that does the energy from all computer mining the Bitcoin have a profitable ratio from what you invest into it to what you get out of it? Because I don't know the prices of the equipment,
Yeah.
but from your experience, is there a high ratio from the profits to the investments?
So it used to be like this. So when we started, so that was one of the reasons. So I did the financial model, and I saw that it's risky because the price of Bitcoin was like very volatile, even now. Like, but back then it was like, imagine like it's 20,000, and after 3 months it's like 8,000, more than 50%.
Shifting over and over.
Yeah, then again like 10,000. So it was very volatile. That's why not many traditional investors went in. But I did the financial model, and I saw that there is a lot of potential. So if we do it correctly, if we have the cheap electricity prices, then we can have this good ROI ratio, like return on investment ratio.
Okay, yeah.
And so then we started to talk to like different people from different countries who were in Bitcoin mining, but doing it in like their home countries. And we were saying like, look, in Kazakhstan we have cheaper power. Look at the model. You will make more money. Let's do it together in Kazakhstan.
Okay, yeah. No, okay, I get what you mean now.
Yeah.
So you were able to just map it out, see the smartest route, and make profit from it. That's what you're trying to say, right? Especially because it's like cheaper in Kazakhstan.
Right. So I saw the opportunity back in the time. So I saw the electricity rates in other countries, and I saw that we have cheaper one. And for Bitcoin mining, like 90% of all the expenses is like paying your electricity bills.
Okay. Well, for someone that's actually interested in that sect of Bitcoin mining, explain how the entire process was like. I mean, throughout all the years that you've done it, and especially since it's differently structured than many other businesses, how would you say it was the journey was for you?
Uh, Journey was really interesting. So, because when you have something in your mind as an idea, and then it became something physical, like in my case, we have the idea to build these Bitcoin mining facilities, and then we actually built a lot of them, like I mean, plenty of them, and we worked with a lot of like international people, like from different countries, and we run the actual operations for them. So it was really interesting. So basically, the business is structured as like LLC, and then you hire some people to build these facilities, and you hire some people to run these facilities, do the technical service, do the maintenance, do the IT stuff, IT software developments, and you run these actual facilities. Uh, and economics, like revenue you get from either mining Bitcoin and selling it on the exchange, or like in our case, working with other miners. So we host these machines for them. We do all the work. They got their Bitcoin, but we bill them every month electricity plus our fee. And then we pay the electricity fee, we pay the salaries, and what's left is our margin. Uh, it was like working for 7 years. But now, because this business became like really big in the world, in US, like 10 big Bitcoin mining companies that are public, and their shares are traded on NASDAQ. So the competition made the margin so small that's not profitable anymore for like small and medium companies like ours. to compete in this market. So now you have to compete on the scale. So because all these big companies have millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars invested in their facilities, infrastructure, and everything. The cost of electricity, like bulk price, is cheaper for them. The cost of equipment is cheaper for them. So basically, it's called in finance economy of scale. So they have
Okay.
the scale, and that's why they can outcompete like smaller players.
So they're able to grow and have that advantage to where it kind of just they totally just took over all the smaller medium companies and had the competition in their favor, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's the game totally just changed over time, right? That's
It
just
it changed. So basically, in new markets, I think like Bitcoin mining and AI right now. So there is some window of opportunity when if you start and doing something and then you got lucky or successful, then you have this period when you can grow fast and then you can like take your market share. So basically in Bitcoin mining it was really new industry back in the times. So we had the opportunity, we used it. We they say like wave. We did see the riding of the wave and then falling it down. So now it's like mature industry where all these big companies compete.
well, also, I know that you've already mentioned it, that it comes with a lot of commitment and risks. Can you point out like one or two major risks that comes with Bitcoin mining that people should watch out for if they ever try it?
Oh, so in terms of like real physical risk, it's the fire. So because you have these machines running,
Actually,
yeah,
fire?
fire. We did have fire in the beginning, so it's because machines running 24 hours, 7 days a week. So and it's called like high density, high density in terms of how many power they use for the one machine. So basically, you have a lot of machines stacked up together, and they all have this, this like working load, like really, and they get heated really high. So you if you touch the machine, it's like really hot. But also because it's like electricity, a lot of electricity cables. If in our case, one of the cables was overheated, and then I think something was on the power side. I think some kind of glitch, and then one machine just got fire, and in like 10 minutes, all the machines were in fire. So because it
Wow.
also used the air cooling, so it was really really bad.
Did it kind of stump your company's growth a little bit? Like
Oh yeah,
it was expensive to probably replace all that, right?
right, right. Because at that moment we were just starting, and like imagine half of, maybe not half, but third of our machines
Gone, like
gone, and we
oof.
were died for several months, like even closer to 1 year. We just worked to replace these machines.
Okay, yeah. I did not know that was actually a hazard to watch out for. I thought they were all like perfectly gonna be fine. That was unexpected. So I know that you have your startup company that you have, Zadr, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to know a little bit of AI first, right? So I know that AI is actually seizing a lot of like these job positions nowadays. A lot of people are getting let go just because that they don't even need them anymore. So in your opinion, do you reckon that it will just keep getting, bigger, stronger, that AI will at one point be able to take up almost every single job occupation in the world?
Hmm. I think yes, but I'm not sure about timing. How how much time it can take to when we get to this point. Maybe 10 years, maybe more, maybe 50 years. But basically, yeah, I can see that this technology is so powerful that it can replace a lot of the work that we do as the human beings.
Okay, so that's like definitely something to watch out for my younger generation, especially like people like me. So so they don't make this mistake. Are there any specific majors that you feel confident AI would not be able to replace, or not even the major itself, but majors that people should take that could help them in the future for their occupation that will not get taken over by AI?
Yeah, it's funny to say, but mostly that what people do by their hands, like for example plumbing or like some electrical works or
Mm,
construction, uh, it will be hard to replace like in next 10 years because robots are not so
efficient with it.
efficient
Yeah.
with it yet. But measures like design, for example, or programming, like actual coding, some like intellectual works can be easily replaced by AI right now. So I have a couple of friends. And they are actual like these full stack developers with 10 plus years of experience, and even they are scared. So they're thinking maybe we should learn some like physical work that we can do if
Okay.
will be out of job market.
So I don't know this myself, but entrepreneurship, right? Would AI ever be able to take the role of an entrepreneur in any type? Like, if it is, just specify what they could do.
Oh, it's a good question. Yeah, maybe. So maybe some things. Um, but with AI right now, you have to have someone to give it a prompt, right?
Okay, yeah,
They are not able to do it by themselves yet, but as long as the AI can make decisions or can think as a human, then I think it can be like entrepreneur. But for now, I think maybe one person can do a lot with AI. So giving it prompts, giving some things, even the financial things, a lot of them can be done by AI right now. Financial modeling, reporting, accounting, even taxes you can do by
yeah,
AI. So I
yeah.
think just the skilled how to work with AI guys can be like can leverage this technology and be more productive right now. But later,
Okay,
I don't know.
that's for the future. We'll find out later. We'll see
Yeah,
what happens with AI.
yeah.
You got myself shocked a little bit, but so okay, now I want to shift over to your startup company. I just want you to briefly introduce it. What's the purpose of it, and why you decided to start it?
So basically, the story is similar to Bitcoin mining. Back in the days, I understood that Bitcoin is a new industry and it will grow in time. And if I will be able to do something in this industry, which I was really interested in back in times, then I should be okay. Because if the industry grows, then my company grows. So with the AI, same thing. I am interested in it. So I read a lot of articles, books about AI, and I think it's exciting. So that's why I decided to start a company exactly in this industry. First, it was hard um, to decide what exact product I want to build because I was like researching still AI. But as long as I tried a couple things, so they say the road opens for one who walks. So I just started to do some things in AI, and then we came up with this idea of making AI like digital twins. We call it AI clones. For example, I can create my clone and I can teach it how to be me. It will
Mm-hmm.
ask some questions from me, like, for example, what's your name? And I say Didar. What's your favorite color? And I say green. So as long as I answer questions, it learns more. And then when someone wants to talk to it, for example, you want to ask some
Yeah.
things about like business, for example, you ask not directly me because maybe I'm busy, maybe I don't want to answer, maybe we don't know each other, but anyone can come and ask the question, so any question that they're interested in.
So it's like your own AI assistant, but it's you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I no, that's very interesting. Oh well, there's I've also done, I've kind of looked up the clone AI cloning and stuff. There's not a lot out there too. So that's actually a very good thing that I found pretty interesting. But I've also found couple companies such as, like, I don't know if you heard of Delphi or Argyle, but
Mm.
that's not really the point. What I'm trying to say is that how does yours differ? How do you differentiate yours from other AI clones, or what do you think is what stands out about yours?
Oh, so basically we trying to focus on only one thing, AI clone. So mm, comparing to others where you can create a lot of different AIs, like even you can create of AI of some historical persons or AI of like currently living famous people. We don't focus on that. We want everyone to create just their own AI and give them like easy user experience how to train it. You don't have to like upload anything unless you want it, but it just asks question and you just answer. And then when you publish your link with your profile of your AI profile, anyone can talk to it. And if it knows, then it answers. If it doesn't know, then it asks you. So again, it's like, this continuous learning uh, loop. So
Experience for
yeah,
both the AI and the person.
yeah.
No,
So
because
that's, I think, what differentiates us. We try to build it really easy for users, for you as the owner of the AI and for other users to interact with it. And when you interact with it, it learns, constantly learns.
okay, so like for someone wanting to start the AI startup, right?
Yeah.
How could they do so? Like more so if they wanted to create an app website and they have no clue, they don't know where to start, they have no steps, they're kind of just going straight into it. What is some advice that you can give to that person?
Again, I use this technique. What I am really interested in, so that's what I was interested in, to create some AI clone of myself and to create some other people and talk to them and maybe make them talk to each other and then see what applications we can have from it. I think it comes from the genuine interest. Because when you're interested, uh, whatever you do, like you learn something, you code something, you do something, you don't feel exhausted. You don't feel like you spend a lot of energy and you want to, relax or do some other thing. You can do it like every day. So if you're interested in it, you can do it every day easily. So basically, that's my advice. Try to find something that you're really interested in. So if for example, some people are interested in biology, they can do some AI in like gene sequential research.
Ah,
Yeah.
whatever,
So
man. Yeah,
yeah, if they are
I
interested,
get
some
you.
people interested in finance, maybe they can create some app that can automatically like grab all your finances in one app, and then it can explain to you
Organize, yeah.
where you spend your money mostly. So yeah, it depends on the person. So basically,
Yeah.
it's very unique. So if the person can find something that he's interested in, he can leverage that.
No, that's actually pretty cool how AI can do all of that. And I know I've done the research on that, and I found it's actually pretty niche, especially what you're doing. I find it really interesting that you're able to want to be interested to find a clone to be able to replicate yourself
Yeah.
and talk to. I mean, I found that pretty cool myself. But the thing is that there is this one phrase. I don't know if you heard it. I'm pretty sure it's niches come from the riches. Yeah. Do you think that's true? Do you think everything needs to be niche in order to make actual money from?
Um, It's a good question. Yeah, basically, because in like new industries, maybe it's not 100% true. In existing industries, if you want to do something, yeah, you have to be really niche. But when something new is just created, like AI, there are a lot of opportunities. We don't have the final, this version of AI. We still have like competing all these large language models like Gemini do something, OpenAI do something, and so there is still a lot of things going on. And so, and then you have this uh, like opportunity to try things. You can try like some niche things, you can try some general things, and see which one like goes well or which one you like. So it's true basically, but for the new industries, I think it's not
It's
100%
just
true.
gonna keep growing and changing. There's just a lot more
Yeah.
opportunities. I mean, yeah, no, you're right for sure. Well, I know that you took a big jump from Bitcoin. So I just kind of just go back real quick. I know you took a big jump from Bitcoin to AI, right? And you shifted from physical infrastructure to digital products, right? So what made you actually take that jump, and how was like the change for you?
Oh, so in Bitcoin mining industry, at one point, like a couple years ago, I understood that the industry now is really big and a lot of players, a lot of competition. And as you said, we have to take like little niche. For example, we just do this and that's it, and then we focus on it and we win the competition in that special niche. But at that time I was like, because I was doing it for 5 6 years and I was quite bored to be in the same industry. Everything is like, I knew like almost everything in this industry and I wanted some new challenge. And at that time, like 2023, the OpenAI released ChatGPT. It was like really exciting. Like it did a lot of stuff that I haven't seen before. And I was like into the industry and I was like, oh, I want to do something in AI. So it's like more curiosity than some, this logical reasoning. So I was like curious, what if I start something in AI and see how it goes? The transition was a little bit painful because when you start something new, it's always hard in the, I think, first couple years or maybe first year, because you have to research and apply a lot of knowledge that there is like available. So you have not only to read but think how to use this knowledge in your work and how to create something that people will like and will use, and more importantly how to create something that I myself like and I will want to use. So
For sure.
yeah, so that was the quite journey to find
Okay.
something.
Okay. Well, AI is all around us. Just to close the topic of AI, I just want to. This is just a question a lot of the younger generation specifically ponder about. It's that, you know, people use it in their daily life. They just text with it, right? I mean, they ask these questions about simplest things, maybe where's the nearest coffee shop or whatever, right? But apart from that, what do you think is this one key thing that people don't understand about AI yet? They don't see it.
Oh yeah, maybe some people understand, yeah, but maybe not conscious enough about how AI can affect them. For example, for students, if they overuse AI and not try to do some, this intellectual effort to do the study, to do the problem solving, that means AI can harm them because they are not developing their intellectual, these capabilities. They are not learning something. They are not developing as a human being. They just choose easy way, just to ask ChatGPT to solve, to do, to write an essay, and it can harm in long term. In short term, it feels fun maybe, and it's easy, but in long term, I think it can affect negatively. On the other hand, maybe people who do the both, who do the like their self development in terms of intellectual, physical, spiritual, in every way, do the work and then use AI to leverage that work. For example, they understand the concept, they understand like the topic, but now they want to go more deep.
Enhance.
Yeah, enhance and like little details that they don't understand. They try to ask and research it, then they leverage it in good way. So I think this is main misunderstanding about AI, that it can both harm you and it can like help you, strengthen you.
No, you're completely, totally right about that. Because even myself, I wondered about this. Like, if you just rely on AI to do your tasks, teach you these things, then you're never gonna really develop your thinking as the way that it should be, where you essentially just go on out to be able and learn actually the complex way, study the actual topic, so you're growing one as a person and mentally, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like that's just one thing that people should watch out for. But like you said, they should be able to learn the topic itself, then further enhance it by using AI, either to add on learn bits and bits of more details, or to use it to help with what they're doing in the future. So yeah, I totally agree with that. And now, since a lot of the younger generation is going to be watching this video, not only do I want them to like learn the facts, right? I want them to be able to have some wisdom, some of your wisdom. The first one is being, what is one habit that you do every single day and you can't live without, and has it had a major impact on your life?
Uh, One habit. Okay, for me, I think it's praying. Praying, yeah, because it's like 5 times, and it structured the day that way that I can plan, like, this micro plan inside of the day. So it starts
Yeah.
like in the morning. I know what time I should wake up. So at least like I have this. Uh, I know when my day starts. Then it has some in the middle, so I know that I have this time to do the work, to do some other stuff. Then again, like this, these time slots. So it divides my day into time slots, and I can think in these time slots. I think this habit, if we're
That's,
talking about
for
habit.
me, I feel like that's the same too, because I'm Muslim too, right? But this is kind of like a religious question, just one small question, right? There is the morning prayer, right, where you wake up 5, 6 a.m. I feel like a lot of people struggle to do that. Do you really think it takes a lot of discipline to do so? Getting off your bed, you're all comfortable laying down, and it's cold in your room. Look, I need your opinion on that.
Yeah, I think it's a struggle, but uh, it depends also on the person. So for some people, maybe it's a little bit easier, for some harder, and everyone trying to find the way how to do it. So
Yeah,
uh,
there's different methods and
yeah,
tactics you can do to get off the bed.
right.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Well, that's great. Okay, so second one being that you've made a lot of big time decisions in your life. Maybe deals with a lot of business people. All that. And what is one decision that you made that changed your life, and that the younger generation should watch out for and try to do the same thing that you did?
One decision there.
Just
Yeah,
one. There's many. There's millions.
yeah. There was so many decisions,
Just one
but I need
crucial
to
decision you made.
one crucial. Yeah, I think one turning point when I quitted my job. It was like only 1 month, and it's been a good job, like in good company. But I just didn't feel right at that time, and I felt that I want to try something by myself. And after that, I never got employed. So I just did one project after another. So I think maybe that decision was crucial.
Yeah. Okay. No, for sure. Well, you've done a lot of things in your life, and specifically, is there one lesson that kind of hit you really hard? Like, apart from that, just it was a big turning point in your life where you had to like learn from and embrace it from your failure.
Yeah, yeah. One lesson, like failure doesn't define me.
Hmm.
I can fail, but I'm not a failure as long as I give up. So if I fail and then I able to stand up and do something, I think I'm a winner.
So
So
yeah, I
yeah,
agree. Basically, people make mistakes, right? They could fail, but that in all would not hurt them because they're just ultimately learning from that, right? It's just kind of like a learning experience where they know what they did wrong. So next time they shouldn't do the same thing. But yeah, I totally agree with that.
yeah.
I know that like, were you gonna say something or?
No,
Okay, well, I know you mentioned how you read a lot of books when
yeah.
starting your AI startup, right? Um, what are some recommendations about any financial books or AI books that you would want to recommend for the younger generation to read? Just any author, maybe, it doesn't matter really.
Um, so basically, Bill Gates had the blog. It, it's called like Gates Notes, I think, and he wrote a like really big article about AI. So last year, I think I would recommend that because it will give some sense. Because this guy is like founder of Microsoft. He'd been in the tech industry for decades. I I think he has like a lot of understanding how tech works and good vision where it goes. So I think for understanding I would recommend that article. Then like we have OpenAI founder Sam Altman. He also had the blog. So basically, He writes some interesting things about AI in his blog. Yeah, for AI, I think this tool should be enough.
These two, yeah, I feel like because they're the founders of the big time AI companies. They should know a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, I hope so.
they are on the frontier, so
For
every day
sure,
they
yeah.
deal with it.
I guess, yeah, definitely. They should look into that. Well, to of course just wrap up everything we've talked about so far. If someone struggling is listening to this today, and it can be anyone, probably the younger generation, since there a lot of them are trying to find their way in what they're interested in life. What is one thing, one factor they should take away from this episode that you think is very important for them to remember?
I think find what interests you and try to put some effort to work in that direction. So basically, just follow your gut and trust the process.
Yeah, you have to start, man. Like it's never gonna work out if you never take the first step.
Right.
So yeah, I get you for real. Well, that was it today. Thank you for coming for today's episode. Nice to meet you again, Mr.
Thank you.
Didar. See you guys next time.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.